Hey, we're recording. I am here doing an early morning record, which is unusual. Usually I do this in the afternoon, but I have something to do with my son today, and I didn't get to go to sleep yet, so I have to get some sleep later after the thing, and then after that I have to take Jacob out, or my son out to another thing. Um, and I haven't slept, so I figured I'd squeeze in a video now. I don't know why I'm giving you all these details. Just trust that I haven't slept, so that's why I'm doing this now. And also, I haven't slept, so maybe it'll be a little rambly or forgetty. We'll see. Um, but anyway, first things first. What do I usually do? Talk about stuff I got in the mail. You know what I got in the mail? I got a bunch of copies of this Mamma Jamma Lifehouse, uh, which is a big old book. It's like a, I think it's 12 by 12. It's humongous. It is. I got to work on this. Hannah Mean Shannon, the editor, brought me in on this. I got to letter it. It is in the 70s, maybe the, yeah, 70s, I think. Let's see if it says on the back. You know what? It doesn't say. But I think it was the 70s. Pete Townsend from The Who had an idea for a rock opera that didn't get made. I think eventually it went on to be the album. Oh gosh, who's next? The one with Teenage Wasteland. Um, but they wrote a bunch of music for it, and it ended up. It was originally for this, but then it went on to be one of their albums. But it was a rock opera, and it never got made. So I don't know how it happened, but they got the idea to make it a comic book. It was based off Pete Townsend's idea, but James Harvey, David Hine, Max Princess, Mick Gray, all worked on it. I lettered it. Micah Myers up there with all those big names. Uh, I am going to be selling these at my shows. I got a bunch of copies of them. Um, I don't know what I'm going to sell them for. They retail at like $50. Um, I'll probably sell it cheaper than that because I got them for, I got them as comps, so make a deal at cons. I'm not gonna put them online because I do not want to ship these big old huge things. But if you see me at shows, which I'll talk about later, where you can see me at, you can pick those up. But anyway, so those are really cool. I haven't even cracked one open yet. I mean, I know what's inside of it because I lettered it. So, but it's a big old cool book. Something to check out. There's nothing in store that I lettered this week, but stuff like usual that's out and about. Empath from Black Box, Grandma Tilly's Helltech Mech, which is always fun to say. Excuse me, from Band of Bards, American Psycho from Sumerian, Vixen NYC from DC Comics. Excuse me, which is also on WEBTOON, um, along with Urban Animal and Nexus Point, which is also on WEBTOON. Bunch of issues or volumes, episodes. What do they call them? Episodes? I think they call them episodes on WEBTOON on there. So you can go there, check it out. Free to read. I think. I imagine they're free to read. I mean, I know they're free to read. I know you can pay to like read early if like when stuff comes out weekly. I think you can pay. I don't know if the stuff that's older on there, if it stays up there forever, or maybe you have to pay. I'm not sure. I don't know the Webtoon system. I should look it up since I'm going to talk about it, and I'll probably will and talk about it next week. But till then, you can check it out. You know what? I don't think I put the links to the Webtoon stuff in below, but I guess I will do that this week. So check out below for those things. What else is going on in my world? Not speaking of Webtoon, but speaking of Kickstarter, Contra is still on Kickstarter. It's already been funded. Contra Against Evil. It's like a Philippine, based on like a Philippine folklore of the Aswang. Aswang. It's the thing about I work so much with people online that it's all text. I don't ever talk to anybody usually, but with voices. So I actually don't know how it's pronounced. A lot of this stuff, I mispronounce people's names all the time. Um, it's real rough. I mean, it's not real rough. It's not like it's not the worst thing ever. But I just always feel kind of goofy. Like I don't know how to say this. Um, also with my own name, Micah Myers, I work with people for years online, and then I meet them either at a con or I'll do like a podcast where we'll finally actually hear each other talk, and they'll say like me. There was a guy I worked with for years said Micah. Uh, he kept saying Micah is my name, and I finally went, hey, that's not how you say my name. And he's like, oh, that's how I always read it. And it's like for years that went by. Like Mika? No, not Mika. Anyway, but also having the name Micah Myers, my name gets said and mispronounced a lot. Um, but it used to bother me a lot when I was a kid. It still kind of bothers me sometimes. Mainly when I'm in a bad mood or something. I'll be like, But usually I just let it go because life's too short. I mean, I get angry about a lot of things, so got to pick and choose your battles, uh, which is advice that I should take to heart, but probably won't. Anyway, speaking of big book that I'm going to take to shows, I have a show this weekend, NOICE in Norfolk at Smart Mouth Brewery. It's like 10 minutes from my house. It's a really cool show. I've been involved with it pretty much every year that it's existed. Um, uh, Greg Steele and what's the other guy's name? It's a two-man show. Greg Steele and oh man, forgive me if you ever see this and I didn't remember your name. I'm sorry. But you can go to NOICE Norfolk on God bless, man. I said I'm tired. I keep forgetting things. On Instagram to read more about it or see more about it. Like I said, it's at Smart Mouth Brewery in Norfolk. Um, there's a bunch of cool people there. I wrote down some names: Matt Emmons, Andrew Neal, Graham McCarthy, David Moses, who I met recently at NC Comic Con last year. Todd Webb and Stormy Gale, all people that are really cool. Either that I've met them before. I don't think I've met Graham McCarthy before, but just looking on Instagram, I saw his art and it looked really cool. Um, but and maybe I have met him. I mean, if he's local, I probably have seen him at other shows, and I just don't remember. I'm forgive me, I'm tired. But yeah, so check that out. I'll put a link below. I've been putting links below for that. Check that out if you want to go to that. It's always a really fun time because they bring in a lot of just amazing, talented creators of mini comics, indie comics, small press comics, self-published stuff. Um, just great people. Next weekend, not this weekend coming up, but the weekend after that, I'm going to be at Durham Minicon in Durham, North Carolina. The weekend after that, March 9th, I will be in Comics Arts Richmond and in Richmond, Virginia at Basic City Beer Company. So, busy, busy, busy. Um, then in May, I'm going to be at MomoCon in Georgia. And in August, I'm going to be at Atlantic Comic Con in Norfolk again. Um, uh, Probably have some other shows to fill in those gaps in, at some point, but nothing official yet. But anyway, check out the links below. Links to my store where you can buy comics. Link to below for my social media. Where you can read link below for Global Comics for the Disasters, the comic book I wrote about D-list villains. It's funny, goofy comic goodness. Links below for all kinds of things. Just check it out. Thank you and have a good week. And maybe I'll see you on Saturday in Norfolk. Bye bye.